Well, happy day, everybody. Santa Tommy Jane. It's 7:45. I need to get out of here by 8 for appointment with the gender specialist. I have a visitor this morning. I had the door open, and it was cool. And there's really not much in here to for apply to enjoy, even in the kitchen. Everything's pretty much like wiped down, and the garbage is out. Um, and but there's one fly, and he just like has been coming around every now and then and trying to take a shot at landing on my head. But anyway, this is like 18 months of me on HRT. Um, there really hasn't been much more than very subtle physical changes because they got me on a low dose and there wasn't much to change. I just put my fat in other places. My musculature and skeleton is what they call gender ambiguous, and it's never been very masculine. And my muscles are flat and long, not all ropey and like a man's. Um, I mean, really, my boobs have gotten a little bigger, but not much. But they stick out more like boobs rather than kind of lay there like globs. Um, the I'm loving life lately. I got nothing but parties between now and election night, which is probably a good idea because that could be the end of the world. I don't even know. Go, get out of here. I don't even. The Scotch guys called it most neatly. It's the run between the mad cunt and the shit box. America's looking real stupid to have this choice of our last president. Obama it's waffled up. Excuse me, that's treaty land. Just sign it. And no, it can't go here. We're gonna let this ride for a couple of weeks and see if we can't reroute it. Well, you better reroute it because it's like not going over that land. It's not gonna happen. Just the whole fucking world standing up saying, no, you can't do that. They don't want it there. You have to put it somewhere else. It'd be better if you put it in the fucking garbage can. But I'm a crazy person. I've had a long and crazy life, and I still got a lot of long and crazy life left in me. People. The other night I met two people. They were tweakers, and so it was understandable. The dude thought I was 32. No, his sister thought I was 32. Dude thought I was more like 45. And I got a lot of old friends that have been like running on parallel paths for a long time. Like Jay Love's been all over the East Coast. He went up to he's out of San Diego and he went up to the Vermont Gathering and took his sweet time getting back. He's just now gotten to Florida, and then he's planning on coming straight across, but he's running out of time, so he's probably going to be rushing as he comes across the Gulf Coast. And then he's got all sorts of friends, like Joni Freedom's always commenting on his stuff. And like, these are old troopers. We've been our boots on the ground, stomping around since like the '60s, all of us. And with those of us that are left are sharing some really like beautiful experiences from the past and the present, and planning all sorts of nonsense for the future. The Oregon gathering is going to be outrageous. It's going to be just so high. The A Camp Wrecking Crew has died out. The old school Vietnam vet guys, their kids did not carry the ball. That energy is not welcome at the gathering anymore because there's nobody that does it responsibly to the benefit of the family like the old school did. So it's just like, okay, bye. No more, because the family's got their own problems, and if you can't keep it orderly and out there, it's like, okay, well, you can't keep it anywhere near us. And from what I hear, there was no A camp at Vermont. And the Oregon family ain't gonna put up with that shit. There'd be, yeah, we do drugs and alcohol, but we're responsible about it, and we don't bring it into the church. It stays up top. If people are going to do that kind of stuff, it stays up top, and you go down in there clean. That's the whole idea, and that's just what's up. And I think it's gonna come through loud and clear in Oregon this summer. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope that somebody's actually going to go and um, transport me with them. Um, I know that if I'm going to be there, whether I go with somebody's caravan or not. I'm going to be there because I'll just get on a bus and somebody will bring me in. And I don't have to worry about what's at the fucking gate. That's ridiculous. All these guys. They won't even recognize me. They'll be so stoned, and I'll be so shining, pretty old hippie mama, and they won't know. And if they do, so what? But I'm loving life. I am so loving life right now. I haven't had such community in a long time. I'm getting very close to a number of people in the 420 family. Couples, some of the couples are really, kind to me and spending some quality time with me, which is something I haven't had in years. Other than phone call with old friends every now and then, and the decent friends I have online, I haven't had real hugs. So now all I gotta do is get my house clean. And that's probably enough because I got to get out the door in 11 minutes. And I want to make sure I have enough clothes. I'm sure I do. It's nice and bright and blue. It's balmy season. It's warm but not hot, and cool but not cold at night. And bright and blue. It's like this is the time from now until about April, about April Ghouls Day, when it starts getting too hot. And it just finally backed off like Halloween. That was it. It was the week up to all the way through Friday. It was like up to near 100 in the daytime, and then it started cooling off. So today, 18 months. Oh yeah, I wanted to, if you're here this long, you may have some interest in transgender realities. I wrote some stuff. There was a thing that happened last week when a judge in the United Kingdom went and took a transgender child away from her parents. And I posted it to the Proud Parents of Transgender Children group with the comment, "This is a very frightening precedent that cannot be taken laying down. In cases of acute gender dysphoria, the children know at a very young age. It's not a matter of being unhappy with their assigned sex either. We're cross-wired between our sex and gender. Our brains are expecting nerve endings to be firing from a completely different set of genitals. This is maddening enough, but forcing us to adopt the gender role of our sex puts children with gender dysphoria over the edge." In the Living a Transgender Childhood documentary about Josie Romero and her family, boy, that kid was like raging and anxiety and panic attacks right up until they let her be Josie. Boom. This happy kid. I met them. I didn't even realize that. I didn't know about her until after I met them. I ran into the documentary later. He was her parents. Her father's an Air Force mechanic at Davis Montfort, and they were at the Gem Show the first year I moved back. I moved here, 2013, 2014, 2014, 15, 16. Time, I forget. I'd have to look at my documentation on that one. Was it 2013 or 2014 that I got here? I forgot. It's just, I'm here, and they were at the first show I did here. After I come back, I used to do the shows in the 90s. So I see parent testimonies recognizing cross-gender behaviors as early as 18 months in children with gender dysphoria. I didn't even realize I wasn't a girl until I started getting punished for acting like one. The only known remedy for gender dysphoria is to allow the patient to act out on their feelings. There have been a lot of advances in the past 20 years that have finally enabled transgender kids to enjoy a happy childhood. We can't stand idly by and let a misinformed judge destroy all that. And here, I don't know if any of these happened here, but, oh shit. I got a friend of mine's got a right-wing friend, who's like trying to argue that the pipeline's going to go through because of the law. And it's like, hey, treaty law is going to trump all of that law, and there's no discussion, son. I mean, this is just the way it is. So anyway, in the conversation, here's one mother: outrageous. This is not a case of a judge acting on the best interest of the child, but one who's acting on his own biased feelings. 6 months. Here's the sad one. I'm not sure what happened here or where she was. 6 months ago, I lost custody and was given supervised visitation until June 30th, 2017, over a petition and a pair of pink underwear that my AMAB. I'm not sure what that means. It's probably has, it's one of them acronyms of transgender people. Wore to my ex-wife lesbian marriage. It sucks. No other way to put it. I'm the mother of a trans son. I feel that it is abuse, neglect to not give a trans child psychological and medical treatment. If your child was diabetic, would you not give him insulin? This is just terrible, but sometimes it happens everywhere, I'm sure. Gosh, I hope it don't happen here. I'm seeing such happy trans kids all over the country. Nice families, nice kids. Well, I couldn't even tell at the Saga picnic on the 4th of July. There was a bunch of kids, and I'm sure they weren't all trans, but you couldn't tell the cis from the trans kids, and nobody even wanted to bother. And this is what nobody cares in Tucson. It's like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. I don't have to give them any validation arguments or anything. Oh, okay, cool, nice to meet you. Patricia Gazy, this is just terrible. But sometimes it happens everywhere. With you. This is an example I used to teach closed-minded. Okay, so this got lengthy too. We have an uphill battle on that count, ladies. The most current medical position is that GD is a medical condition, and there are structural and chemical differences detectable in the brains of transgender people when compared to cisgender brains. We're not born in the wrong bodies. Something happened in utero to give us the wrong genitals. A number of chemical triggers have been described in the literature. I'm a DES baby, and you can find more information about that at Intersex DES Babies Club. The biggest obstacles are in putting to rest the obsolete and invalid observations of extremists like Paul McHugh, John Mayer, and Walt Geyer. Geyer is especially dangerous to the families because he was misdiagnosed, went through SRS, detransitioned, is now a leading advocate for conversion therapy, which the mainstream is solidly opposed to. It's already been banned in some places and needs to be banned everywhere. The only known relief for GD is to let the person present in the gender role they feel the most comfortable in. Sure, some will detransition, but nothing irreversible is going to be done to them before they're 16 and solidly committed to going through with a complete transition if they're opting for surgery. The other big hurdle is access to affordable gender therapy nearby. But this is improving rapidly as the WPATH Standards of Care 7 spread through the medical community and doctors gain experience with transgender patients. More and more hospitals are offering the surgeries, and Johns Hopkins is resurrecting their gender clinic by the end of January. I think that though there is a very clear increase in the numbers of transgender children appearing, only 20% of the adults are currently getting the surgery. You're going to see lots more children because, most of us had to hide. So my generation was like, you didn't most didn't come out until they were like adults, well away from their families. Certainly, and the only visible transgender people in my neighborhood were the hookers. Um, there were plenty of fruity boys and tomboys. There, tomboys and girly guys. But they had to, be boys or girls as according to their genitals. Is the way it was back in the 50s and 60s. It wasn't until after Stonewall that it was even safe to declare yourself to be transgender in public. Still not safe in a lot of places. Poor girl in Russia, the Chechen girl that got married and her family killed her. Mutilated the body, too. One lousy fly. I closed the door with one fly still in here. I think that, oh, well, I think, yeah, there's 120. Some of us learn to live with the transgender condition. This is important. This was an important realization I had a while back, because of the, lateral hostilities in the community over, different ways of expressing themselves. It's like, well, I do it this way, so you're doing it that way is wrong. It's like, well, no, we're all individuals, and everybody's is imperfect and fucked up equally. None of us is right. We're all wrong to some extent. We're supposed to be nice to each other, love each other as we would want to be loved ourselves. So anyway, this is it. This is where it's at. Some of us learn to live with the transgender condition, and some have to get their sex toys remodeled so that the nerve endings are in the right place for their fantasies. See, I had another thought. I'm trying to see if I wrote it. I had another thought along those lines. Where did I write that? I know I said it somewhere. It must have been, it was in one of the comments to the other one? No. Huh. Transgender people are special. It's not something awful. I mean, if you can't live with it, you can't live with it. It's understandable because it's like a sport. It's not right for your brain to be talking to those kind of gonads because your brain's expecting the nerve endings in the other places that the other gonads would have. So it's not real understandable that people got to get it repaired so that they can feel comfortable within themselves. But then some of us get used to it. It's like, okay, that's cool. I don't know. I still need a vagina, but I'm leaving that up to God. I might end up with both. I don't know. It's fantasy land. But certainly I'm the receptacle of the sex organ in my fantasies and always have been. It's like, all these people telling me that, oh, you're a fake tranny, transgender. They don't see my dreams. They never saw my dreams. I'm as classic a gender dysphoria case as there is, and kind of a rare bird because I managed to survive this long without killing myself or anybody else. but it's I think as acceptance grows, we're going to see fewer adults seeking the surgery because we're special critters the way we're rigged. And I think if I grew up in an accepting family, I would have thrived without any surgery. Certainly that's how I feel about myself and my life now with just the HRT helping to smooth out the chemical storm between my brain and my balls. I made my deal with the Creator when I was young. I'm good to go until they keep their promises to the faithful. I'm very grateful to be part of the world transgender community after living with GD in silence for nearly 60 years. I think that this young trans woman is a real good example of what you parents of young trans girls can shoot for. She and quite a few other youngsters are keeping video diaries up on YouTube. Trans Youth Channel is an outlet for your own kids to express themselves. And I gave the link to the Maya channel. She's really a cutie, really skinny, but she's a cutie, and she's a nice person. She's a real nice person. She's a nice person. That's how I really look for it in anybody. Are you nice or are you nasty? This is a nice person, and she's pretty. She's just she's skinny. She needs to put some meat on her bones. But she's got a lot of aspirations as a model and fashionable person, and she's keeping a nice without getting I'm just like keeping a video diary. This is me talking shit. Sitting at this is me watching television. This is me instead of being like sitting watching this is what I do instead. So this is just me, so that's why there's so many of these videos, and there's no focus to any of them. So I mean, sometimes I can keep it focused, but when I go 20 minutes, they're all just all over the box. So to summarize, 18 months on hormones, and I haven't got my man cave turned into a bird's nest yet. But then that's really hippie chicks ain't known for their neatness anyway. I'm getting accepted as me. I'm not trying to present as a woman because I'm not. I'm a transgender person. I'm intersex. I'm kind of both. And people are very accepting of that. And I mean, I do have some serious anti-fans because I get them angry with themselves, so they project it out on me. But hey, if I wasn't getting people pissed off, I wouldn't be doing my job right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Happy day. Bye.